So let's discuss what are the sources of this eccentricity in compression members. So the first are the main sources: load transferred to the exterior column. So it is sure that in case of exterior column, the column will be a eccentrically loaded column because the area supported by the column is on only one side. So the centroid of the load will act somewhere over here and the centroid of the column is over here. So there will be a large amount or large value of eccentricity in case of edge columns. So the load transfer to the exterior column are generally having large eccentricities, as the center of gravity of the load will usually fall well on the inner side of the column. So the center of gravity of this load will lie over here, well on the inside of the column, and there is a distance between the center of gravity of the load and the centroid of the column. So this distance is E. So because of this load and this eccentricity, there will exist a bending moment equal to P into E. So the other sources are initial crookedness. So if the column have initial crookedness, there is a local bend in the column. So in that case, at this point, the centroid of the column and the line of action of the load will not coincide. For example, it is like this. So here, this is the load. So the line of action of load is passing over here and the centroid of the column is over here. So at this point, there will be eccentricity. So because of this eccentricity from the line of action of the load and the centroid of the column, so a bending moment will generate in the column and this column will be termed as eccentric column. And the second source is eccentricity of load if the load is acting away from the centroid. So this is a possibility mostly in case of brackets. So here we have a column and here we have a bracket like this. So in that case, if a girder is resting on this bracket, so definitely the line of action of load will be over here and the centroid of the column is over here. So there will be a large amount of eccentricity. So this eccentricity will generate bending moment in the column. So the next source is application of simultaneous transverse load. So this also produces the bending moment in the column, and we can say that there exists the eccentricity. So the next is out-of-plumbness. So if the column is not a straight, not vertical. So here the column is not vertical, so the line of action of load and the centroid of column are away from each other at the bottom of the column. So here exists eccentricity E. So this eccentricity E times the applied load P, so that will generate a bending moment in the column. So if the column is not a straight, it is out of plumb. So in that case, again there exists eccentricity and this eccentricity will generate bending moment in the column. So the out of straightness as well as this initial crookedness, the code specify the maximum limit on that. So AISC code of standard practice specifies acceptance upper limit on the out-of-plumbness and initial crookedness equal to length of member divided by 500. So the maximum permissible out-of-plumbness as well as the initial crookedness is equal to L over 500. So if this eccentricity is more than this value, so in that case that column will not be acceptable. So it means we need to reconstruct or refabricate that member.